On the latest episode of the Worst of the Riot podcast, we talk about dates we were too afraid to go on.
And they all happen to involve the same thing. Women.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. And we're doing great on time.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
Welcome to Friday on the show. Happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend, Isaiah.
So exciting.
It is exciting.
Halloween weekend.
Yeah. Not quite a long weekend, but it feels like one because it's a holiday weekend. It's a Halloween weekend.
So exciting.
It's very exciting. Tell me this. Do you think this is offensive or just smart? In China, there are certain, what would, I guess, amount to like state parks where like they're in mountainous regions. And so on the side of the mountain so that you can get up to the top, they've built giant escalators. So you can literally, instead of like hiking, you just hop on the escalator and slowly and surely zip to the top without really any effort on your end.
Oh, this is genius.
You love it, isn't it? It's smart, right?
I think it's a great idea because it caters to everyone.
Yep, it makes it possible. There's some people that, you know, maybe physical limitation, you get older or something.
Yeah, like your grandparents, they
Yeah.
want to go and check it out. The trek up the mountain isn't going to be as capable for them.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the day they'd be able to do it,
Uh-huh.
but not now.
Yeah.
And
that
so they
doesn't
can
mean
take the
should-
escalator.
They shouldn't be, just because they're on in years or they're wheelchair bound or whatever it might be, doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to take in the sights, be able to see some of the spectacular views from the top. I like it. And for people that maybe you're just lazy too. Maybe you want a good, why does a good view necessitate, is that a word?
Could be.
Why does it require you going on a long hike and getting exercise? It can include that, but it doesn't need to. Not with the advances in technology that we've made. I'll say, looking at the picture though, it's kind of like, depending on which one, because I guess they have multiple. Some of them are kind of an eyesore. It does kind of hurt the landscape a little bit. But if you can do it in a way that like doesn't look stupid, I think it's real cool.
You know what would be smarter?
What's that?
Instead of having this escalator here,
Yeah.
they should have those little roller coasters like they have in Gatlinburg.
Oh, yeah.
That would look way cooler
And
than
that's
these
just how you get
escalators.
to the top?
Yeah, that's how you get to the top, and then if you'd like to go back down, you just take it back down.
Like a train?
It shoots you up. Yeah.
I know.
But it's a ride though.
This is me being naive, but I feel that the escalator, they would just let you go on it for free to get to the top. Where if it's a train or like a gondola or something, they're
Yeah,
charging
that would cost
you.
money.
There's no way
You're
you do
right.
that for free.
The
That-
escalator ride seems like it should cost no money. Wow, that's a great view though.
It should cost no money, but it probably does, right?
No.
You don't think it costs money?
Maybe it does because they had to put it in.
Yeah, right?
It should be like $1.
Yeah, it's got to be cheap. How do you think the animals react to that?
The escalator, they probably love it.
You think the deer and the like?
Imagine them
if
just
it was Gatlinburg.
imagine them just standing on it.
Yeah,
Them riding up. They're like, I want to ride this too. I need to get to the top.
But I'd be concerned because like sometimes, right? You can get like my parents always worried like if you just stand on the escalator, your shoelaces will get caught. Who knows what'll happen? What if that happened to like a bunny or something?
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only concern.
Or you're like taking the escalator up and you're like halfway up the mountain. You're going really, because this escalator is humongous. And then you just see a bear coming down the other side.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
Yeah, you can't just hop off mid-escalator, right?
No.
That's also
Not
like
this
you
escalator.
got to make up your mind, and whatever threats may come or however long it takes, like you get your bathroom break out before you go, you just got to, you're in for the ride.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Do you believe this is a thing? Board eating?
I think so.
where you just eat simply because you're bored? It must be because a new study carried out by Aston University found that people eat more calories when they are bored, even as young as 4 years old is when they discovered that bored eating becomes a thing.
But when you're bored, usually you're at home.
Yeah.
And if you're at home and bored, usually there's snacks there.
There's often snacks.
People like snacks.
I didn't know that 4-year-olds could get bored. Thought they were always like doing stuff.
I haven't been around a 4-year-old in a while, but in my mind, I feel like a 4-year-old is pretty easily entertained.
Yeah. By eating.
I mean, can't
evidently.
you can just like play a game with them. I feel like that
just
would
give
be
'em
pretty
crayons or something.
peekaboo. I don't know what age that's not cool anymore.
Yeah. But I can't imagine me being a child and I remember like family members criticizing, I guess, about this is like you come in and to the kitchen and like, I'm hungry, but it's not, they would say, you're not actually hungry. You're just watching TV and you're bored. Like you're not, because you're not entertaining yourself, they would say.
Yeah, one of the things that my dad, this is engraved into my memory. I used to go into the kitchen all the time and just open the fridge. I love just opening the fridge and just seeing what was in there. And he would say, you just opened the fridge. It hasn't changed. And in my mind now as an adult, I'm like, I can open the fridge as much as I want because I know that they might be letting cold air out, but it's not actually running up my electricity bill, open that thing up. But you would have thought.
It's Energy Star certified.
You would have thought it cost him $1 every time I open that thing up. It hasn't changed. You're not even hungry. And I'd open that thing up and be like, I just want to see what's in here. See if anything piques my interest. Never did.
Interesting that it was the fridge for you and not like to me, I feel the pantry more often.
Oh no, mine was the fridge. I opened up the fridge, see what was in there every time.
Do you think, so they obviously they found that this exists and children do it. It makes a lot of sense that kids do it and we remember doing it. Do you still do it now as an adult, do you think?
Eat when I'm bored?
Yeah, bored. Eat only because you're bored.
That's a good question. I'm a snacker. I like to snack, but I don't have a lot of snacks in my house. I think if I had a lot of good snacks, I would snack a lot more.
So you're doing yourself a favor by not having good snacks.
Yes.
I think I've broken myself of this habit. I think I'm such a strong individual that I have learned that I do this, and I used to do this, especially here at work, because there's always snacks in the break room. And so if I was just like, and obviously you're working, you're going to get bored. So
trying to kill time,
Yeah, right. So I just walk down to the break room and steal whatever's in there. But I've broken myself of this and replaced it with probably an eating disorder of just not eating calories during the day at all.
Just not eating at all.
Yeah. And I'll do that instead. That's probably better, right?
I don't know. I don't know if this is bad.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Zach Wilson, backup quarterback for the New York Jets to the injured Aaron Rodgers, of course. He's been obviously playing for most of this season. He's been facing some criticism from at least a few individuals in the New York City media, because this week was the bye week for the New York Jets. Zach Wilson, on the bye week, went apple picking. This is one of the activities. He went apple picking with his girlfriend, Nicolette Delano. And he's being criticized for this by at least one talk show host who's saying, he's saying Zach Wilson should be focused on the game, even on the bye week. He should be steadying up, watching tape, film, whatever, and not out apple picking with his girlfriend. First of all, do you buy that?
He should be staying home?
Yeah, he should be like grinding instead of. I mean, you get 2 entire weeks from Sunday to Sunday.
He can't go out with his girlfriend and have a nice little time?
Yeah, apple picking. But then I also thought, I think part of it too, right, is the that that's not a very masculine date. And I was thinking there's been a lot of talk of what women would refuse to do on a first date, places they refuse to go as of late. What about us as guys? Aren't there some, I mean, usually we pick, but is there a place where a gal will be like, hey, why don't we do this? And you would say, absolutely not.
This happened to me recently. I actually denied a date. You want to know where they tried to get me to go?
Yeah, I do.
They tried to get me go. They tried to get me to go to a haunted house. And I was too afraid. I couldn't go. I'm not a haunted house guy.
Believe it or not. Likewise.
I don't
This
do
also happened to me with my wife.
I
She's
don't
like,
do
let's go
it.
to a haunted house. I said, no, I will not do that with you.
I don't do haunted houses.
I said, it's going to be weird for you to go through a haunted house by yourself, huh?
It's going to be awful awkward
Yeah.
when I'm standing outside.
Uh-huh.
And they sent me videos too because they went as like a group. Because it was like a group date.
Yeah.
I was the only guy that didn't go.
Ooh. You feel good about that?
I feel strong in my case. I said I'm not a big haunted house guy. It's not really my thing. There's a lot of things that are my thing. That ain't my thing.
It's crazy that there's so many other places that, I mean, women for the past like 2 weeks have been saying, not all women in general, but like the conversation has been, I would never go to Cheesecake Factory on a date. And you're not really getting judged too much, even though it's not expensive restaurant, but it's a decent restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't like Cheesecake Factory. It's a decent restaurant. But for us to say, no, I don't want to go to a haunted house, we get looked down upon.
Call me Big Baby. You know, I got trashed for that.
Yeah.
I got in a lot of trouble for that.
I don't want to
What
be
are you
judged.
afraid? You know what I am?
Yeah.
What if I am? I'm 25 years old. Maybe I'm a little scared. Maybe I am a little afraid of the haunted house. I don't want to pay to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary.
It's not enjoyable.
I'm sure there's other places. That's the most recent one for me.
Yeah, I can't think. I mean, there's a lot of other places I wouldn't be excited about, but that's right. A haunted house may be the only place that I can think of off the top of my head that I would explicitly say no to.
Yeah, I can't think of a lot of others. I'm down with doing most things. Haunted houses, not so much.
Yeah. That's the answer.
But I would go apple picking.
Yeah, I mean, have you been?
I have been.
It's not a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's not like a crazy fun date. I mean, you can get good photos there. I think that's more about,
You get cider at the end.
yeah, it's more of the
That's what
pictures and whatnot.
That's what I'm
The
into.
aesthetics.
But hopefully the apple picking doesn't hurt Zach Wilson because they got a big game coming up.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
What is a comment somebody's made about your appearance that you've never forgotten after all these years? Sometimes that stuff sticks with you. Probably more the negative than the positive, right?
It can go either way. Depends on the situation, I think.
But we can do negative or positive. We can open this up to the Riot Hotline. Comments that people have made about your appearance that you've never forgotten. The first one for me, and this is more recent, is when I was at the mechanic and like the guy that works the desk came out and said to me, he was talking about my car, and he's like, hey, me and all the guys were just talking about how you look just like Kevin Smith. That's the recent one.
And to you, where does that stand for you? Was that like a yes? Or was that like
Definitely not.
ah?
It definitely wasn't a yes. Humbling. Actually, you know what? And I think at that time, somebody else had also commented on that. So I was really in my Kevin Smith era at that time. Since then, changed my hair. I've changed a few things.
You guys have a similar beard.
I guess we do. I think I've moved out of that a little bit. I hope. Nothing against, not a knock on Kevin Smith, but not exactly. It doesn't feel like a compliment. That was one that hit me recently. Also, this is going back, and this is very oddly specific, but I was told that I have good veins
Really?
in my arms. Yeah.
Who's saying that to you?
A phlebotomist dream, I was told. And maybe because that's such a strange expression, that's why I've never forgotten that.
Who told you that? Your mother?
It was an ex-girlfriend
Really?
who was a nurse.
Oh. She's
So
I could poke you if I really wanted to.
Yeah, that's right. You'd be an easy stick. 8772 Radio U. Comments people have made about your appearance
I've got a good
that
one.
you've never forgotten. We'll find out what Isaiah's is next, and anyone else chiming in at 8772 Radio U.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Here's one, Isaiah. Katie says, I was on a first date with a guy. He stared deeply into my eyes and says, green eyes. I prefer blue.
That's maniacal, Hudson. That's maniacal. That is maniacal. I wouldn't have laughed at that. I feel like that probably is wrong. Green eyes versus blue is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't really have a preference of eye color. What an interesting thought by that man.
If you're gonna do that with the sound effects, nobody can trust anything I say anymore.
I know. You like that?
Yeah.
I'm going to use it against you. I have one here from Emily.
Okay.
She says, I had a man tell me you're pretty in kind of a Disney villain way. Is that bad or good?
That's difficult to assess.
But I wouldn't forget that either.
No, that's very
Very
memorable.
My dad.
Now I'm trying to evaluate the attractiveness level of Disney villains.
Not usually
To
ever
see
very
if that's
good.
a compliment or not. Yeah.
Not usually very good. How about this one? Caitlin says, you have such beautiful skin. It's perfect. Such a shame about your face, though.
Ooh. You know, what's funny?
That's a good joke, though.
Yeah, that is funny.
That could hit, you know? Like, if I said that to you, that could be funny.
Yeah, I guess
In a
so.
joking manner.
Yeah, but it could be funny, but also could hurt. See, I was thinking, I know the people, there's two things about me when I was like younger and I guess one is still kind of true, is that I had bad skin, like just acne, just crazy acne. And people commented on that a lot, but I can't remember any specific, like somebody calling me pizza face or whatever.
The other homeschoolers bullying you,
Yeah.
that would make you feel pretty bad.
The kids at youth group. But I wore glasses that were really thick for a long time. Yet again.
Thick glasses?
Yeah. I know people commented on it, but I don't remember any specific. But I do remember this. That one gal, when I was very young, said, "What are you, Chinese or something?" About my appearance. And that was a strange one. Yes, because it was so
odd.
confusing.
I don't see it. You know, I was...
Maybe when I was like 7, though.
Maybe when you were little.
I know where I was when this girl said this.
And that's not even an offensive comment. It's just
not
a confusing
offensive,
one.
no. It is confusing because I don't think I look Chinese now or then.
I once it would have been like around 4th grade, one comment that stuck with me, I was called Bubble Boy for a while.
Why?
And it wasn't because I was like thick or anything.
Were you actually in a bubble?
No, I just couldn't catch the ball at recess.
Mm.
And I've never lost that. I'll never forget that.
You still can't catch?
No, I can catch.
Oh,
I can
can
catch.
catch.
I can catch then.
I kind of like
I don't know
Bubble
why
Boy.
they said that to me.
Would that hurt you if
it like bounced off me. And somebody at recess, it was like a one-day thing. It was like a one-off. They called me Bubble Boy for a while.
Uh-huh.
Didn't like that.
This is a dangerous game we're playing because we are exposing a lot of things that could be used against us here in the future.
I recently had someone say, this is how I'd imagine an angel walking towards me as well.
Someone said that to you?
No. That's a good line, though.
That would be a good line. 8772 Radio U. Things that have been said about your appearance that you never forget. How about Eugene? He says a girl said to him, "Your average height for a woman."
Oh. No.
Ouch.
No.
Ouch, that hurts. That's funny, though.
Sorry, Eugene.
Yeah, sorry that happened.
Man, that's a low cut.
Yeah, That'll stick with you.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
At long last, student loan payments have resumed. If you've got student loan debt, you got to get back to paying it, right? You still making payments?
I am. Are you?
No,
You don't have any student loan debt?
not anymore. That's the
Maniacal.
one kind of debt I don't have. Because student loan debt, on top of everything else, making it hard to afford things in life. Domino's is helping out. They are extending their emergency pizza program where they are giving out codes for free pizza to folks who have student loan debt. All you have to do is go to their website, domino's.com/emergency-pizza-for-student-loans. And then every day on there, they're giving out a limited amount of codes for free pizza, free emergency pizza for those who have student loan debt. A nice little way, their little way, trying to shine a light in this world and make things a little easier on people.
So Domino's has been, we already talked about how they're doing the emergency pizza.
Yeah, that's for anybody.
And now they're also doing the emergency student loan pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And you could try to get this every day?
You can, yeah. You can keep coming back every day because I looked for today. Today's codes are already have already been given out. But in total, it says they are giving out over the course of the next little while $1 million worth of free pizzas.
$1 million.
Yeah. That ought to help. I think that ought to help.
I think that ought to help.
Yeah, I think that'll help. Not me though, because I already paid off. This is what I hate. Why does I pay off my student loans and what have I got to show for it? Whereas you and others like you still stuck paying off your student loans slowly and surely, and now you get free pizza for the deal.
It seems as if this might finally be paying off.
What are they going to do next? Forgive your student loans? How else are they going to screw me over? No, I'm happy.
I was like, I don't get free money. I don't just get $10,000 taken off my day-to-day loans.
Excuse me, where is the free emergency pizza for car payment makers?
Well,
which I actually...
You knew when you bought the car, you were going to pay it off later. You don't just get forgiven for things that you took on.
I didn't know I would be sacrificing free pizza, though.
You had no idea.
Yeah.
It's not like you didn't know. You'd have to
Where's
pay it
the
off.
free emergency pizza for small business owners?
Isn't that the best?
Yeah.
I can't believe I had to pay off all these student loans that I knew I'd have at the end.
Yeah, that's right.
I had to pay for this thing that I went to.
That I signed up for.
It's a big shocker at the end, huh? College isn't free? What? Where did this come from? At least you get pizza.
Yeah.
Domino's.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky today, the codes are already gone. So,
but the good thing for us is we wake up early. I'm gonna get one of these codes.
Yeah, you better, and you should share it with me.
I'm not sharing it with you.
Why not? I told you about it.
You don't deserve a free pizza. You have one less thing you have to pay off every month.
Yeah,
that's why I don't have HBO Max and you do.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
It is Halloween season. What a big day. The start of Halloween weekend. Exciting times.
It is. It's a wonderful time of year. It's going to be a great weekend. I have here now, I don't know if this is exactly representative because it's from a dating app I've never heard of, but a survey that says of people that are dressing up for Halloween, adults, I should say, 58% of adults plan on wearing a sexy Halloween costume this weekend.
Scandalous.
Yeah. 58% of adults say that their Halloween costume will be sexy. 72% of women 43% of men.
So over half of adults.
Over half of adults. Which again, it's from a dating app though, so this isn't.
I was about to say.
Yeah, because it's not. I guess this isn't like probably
people
mostly,
handing out candy.
Yeah, and not like parents going trick or treating with their kids. This is like people that are going out to parties. Do you think this is accurate? Because this is suggesting that if you go out to a party this weekend, 3/4 of the women are going to be dressed in sexy costumes. Is that accurate?
Good question. It all just depends on how scandalous we're talking.
Yeah, which party we're talking about.
Because I think that a sexy costume doesn't have to be as wild as you may imagine. You know?
You don't know what my imagination's like.
I don't want to know, I don't think.
I was trying to figure out what even makes a costume, quote unquote, sexy.
Well, I think it just depends on what you're going as. If you're going as a cat. If I ask you what you're going as for Halloween.
Oh, you can tell if it's sexy or not without me saying a sexy cat.
Yes, I think so.
Because obviously if I was a cat, it would be sexy.
But if you dress up as a cat, there's no way.
Yeah. I was also thinking like, I can imagine in my mind, there's also some pictures here, what we all know what a woman's sexy costume is. Generally, like real skin tight, probably showing a lot of flesh. But what is a sexy
men's costume?
Yeah.
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, how do you do that?
I don't even know what that would entail. What the original costume would be.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I can think of is like firefighter.
Police officer?
Mm-hmm.
I think because the ladies can make anything just a wild sexy costume.
If it's like showing all of your skin and real tight again.
Guys just look ridiculous doing something like that.
Yeah. If I try to be a sexy firefighter and wear like a firefighter hat and no shirt and suspend, like firefighter pants and suspend, like that's not sexy.
Who's thinking that's sexy?
I just look like a hobo, pretty much. So, I don't know. But
like the amount of costumes, this was crazy too, is I'm going to go to some Halloween parties this weekend, right?
Yeah.
I've got 2 on Saturday I'm going to. I don't think that I'm going to look at any costume that a man's wearing and be like, oh, he's trying to be sexy.
What about, now we talked, one of the big costumes this year are going to be probably Barbie and Ken, right? Are Ken costumes sexy costumes or are they just Ken?
No, but just Ken.
He's just Ken.
You might not look as foolish as some of the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
You might look a little bit more presentable.
Mm-hmm.
You won't look like an idiot.
But that's not a sexy costume.
But it's not a sexy costume. It just means that you don't look silly. It's not a silly costume.
There's not 2 different versions of Ken. I think that's what it is. It has to be a costume where there can be different versions. Ken is just Ken. There's not sexy Ken and just Ken. It's just Ken only. But there could be a sexy firefighter costume and just a firefighter costume.
Like tonight, I'm going as Wally.
Yeah.
There's sexy Wally costume.
You know what? For women, though, I bet you there is a sexy Wally costume.
There could be. I don't know how you'd pull that off. But for me tonight, there's no way that I can make Wally look sexy.
I think it's just
tomorrow, I'm going as Cosmo from Cosmo and Wanda. And I don't think there's a way for me to make that sexy either.
No, probably not.
Now, if I went as Wandissimo, now we're talking.
That's a deep cut for the Fairly Odd Parents fans. It's Project 86.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
This is a crazy way to get revenge. A 23-year-old flight school student in Florida was denied a solo flight because he wasn't good enough yet, couldn't make the cut. And because he was so upset about that, he's now accused of sabotaging 10 different aircraft, 10 different planes at a Florida airport to try to get his revenge. It says he became angry after school instructors would not allow him to take a solo flight. And fortunately, they were able to catch that he was messing around with the planes before anybody actually wound up getting hurt, wound up taking up those planes and I don't know, having whatever issues.
They
So
said it
crisis
was
avoided.
the damage was to the plane's landing ability had it not been caught before people were taking off. Something terrible could have happened.
Guess that's why they have like inspections before of the plane, right? Before you fly, in case a lunatic like this ever tries to pull something like this. Now, guess who's never getting a solo flight? I'm going to have to guess.
Oh, this dude, he's going to jail.
Yeah.
He got charged with felony criminal mischief.
That doesn't even seem to sum it up very well.
It doesn't. It doesn't seem to sum it up at all.
Yeah. Would you stop being so mischievous?
You little,
Messing with the
you're
planes.
just a little mischief.
You little gremlin.
Yep, you little gremlin, you.
I find you guilty of being mischievous. You're going to jail.
Yeah, this dude that's really bad. He needs to go to jail.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Intentionally or recklessly damaged property belonging to another person. That doesn't feel like enough.
no.
That doesn't
It should
feel like
be-
that applies to planes,
Yeah,
does
planes
it?
should be another level.
That sounds like I like messed with your iPhone.
right.
Not a plane.
Mm-hmm. This is like mischief is like if I take a baseball bat to your mailbox.
Yeah.
It's not hurting anybody necessarily.
Offense punishable by up to 6 months of jail time. That seemed like enough.
6 months for 10 planes that could have everybody.
somebody.
Yeah, that's right. We need to
You
put
should
us in
know better.
charge. Put us
Hey,
in-
and he wanted a solo flight. You should have known better. This almost seems like a plot to a movie.
maybe it will be one day. Maybe it will be. They call it criminal mischief.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. But for me personally, big trouble. That's why he didn't get the solo flight.
Yeah.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
With us today, we get the pleasure of getting to spend a few minutes with Glasslands. We have Josh and Brandon both with us today. It's very exciting.
Both of us, yep.
Yeah.
We are here.
Thanks
Good morning, guys.
Thanks
Happy
for
to be here.
coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
First of all, guys, it's Halloween weekend. And so please tell me at least one of you is dressing up or doing something fun for Halloween.
Are you doing anything?
Yeah. Me and my family are going to Nashville, and I have to dress up as Ron Weasley.
That's your
Ron
costume?
Weasley.
Yeah, it's not by choice. It's my daughter.
It never is.
My daughter wants to be Hermione, and
Okay.
then she said my wife is going to be Harry, and then I have to be Ron. And I was like, well, why can't we all just like be Hermione? Because I got the hair for it.
It's better.
She's like, nope, sorry, you have to be Ron. So
Your wife took Harry? That doesn't seem fair. I feel
no,
like
it wasn't her choice either.
Oh, it wasn't?
It was my daughter's choice.
She assigned them to you.
Yeah.
She said, you get to be
Jeez.
Harry and you get to be Ron.
Yeah.
And then you got the side
Which
character.
Ron's my least favorite character, so
Along with everyone else, I think.
But
that's what I'm being. Are
Brandon, you
doing
can't
anything?
top that, or?
No, I don't know. I'm probably gonna just stay at home and do nothing, honestly.
No handing
nothing wrong
out
with that.
candy even?
Nothing
No,
wrong with
no
that.
No,
candy?
there's no trick-or-treaters in my neighborhood.
Me either. I have not yet been in a place where I've had to hand out candy, so I don't even know that I would know how to do it.
For like the last 3 years, we've bought candy and like sat out on the front porch and just nobody comes to our house. And I was like, I don't know, am I scaring people off or like what's happening? But I asked my neighbors, I was like, is there trick-or-treaters? And they're like, nope, not around here. And I was like, okay. Well, I guess I ate all this candy myself.
Yeah, now-
More
Stuck with
candy
3
for
pounds
you.
of
There
candy.
you go.
Well, you guys are about to release your new music video, along with your new song, The
Yeah.
Creature. What should we know about the music video? Hudson nor I have seen it yet. Is it very different from
Yeah.
the ones you've done in the past? Are you dressed up in that, right?
We are,
Yeah.
we tried to mix it up, try to look a little edgy. Yeah, it was fun. We shot it at Brandon's house
Yeah.
ourselves. And yeah, we like built the set and shot it, and then Brandon edited everything and color graded it, and so it's like all done ourselves. It looks pretty sick. We're pretty stoked on it.
And that releases this morning, correct?
Yes.
Yes, song and
Exciting,
video.
yes.
There we go. There we
Yep.
go. Well, we all need to go check that out. Now, tell us about the song, The Creature, that we're now playing here on Radio U. What do you think people need to know about The Creature before we play it here in a second?
Yeah, the song's kind of just about nothing new I've written about before, but it's kind of just a struggle of my identity outside of music. I've been doing it for so long, and the kind of message behind it is it feels almost like the real person is the one I am, like on stage or when I'm doing music, and like the mask I wear is my normal life, you know. So that's kind of the message behind the song.
That's a good message.
I like that. No, I feel that too. I feel like in radio, I can't turn off the radio. The rest of the life feels fake. And being the radio character is the real guy.
And it's cool too because usually when an artist like explains like what the song's about, it's a very hard concept to grasp. Like they're not able to like say it in a way that like makes sense to everyone in such a simple way. But that right there made sense to me. Hopefully all our listeners too. So it should be
I'm sure
exciting.
everyone can connect with that. I don't know if probably people like radio is kind of my profession. Music is kind of your profession. I don't know if accountants are like, when I'm not accounting, I just
I put on this face when I walk into the office.
I don't know. Maybe they do. I have one other question that kind of I think ties into that, and that is you guys, like, you've been a pretty successful band, you've done a lot, but I want to know what is on your musical bucket list still. Like, what do you still feel like is something you definitely want to accomplish as a band or as artists?
Accomplish as a band? I mean, since COVID, live shows pretty much just didn't exist for like 2 years. Like the entire industry was put on hold. So I feel like getting back out on the road and just touring and seeing people, seeing the cities and stuff. We get to tour here and there, but not like we used to. You know, most of my friends that are, you know, in bands touring and stuff are just now getting back into it. So I would say just being a touring musician, like a full-time touring musician again. Just that, I mean, that's the thing Brandon and I really love. It's like we like everything surrounding music in the band, what we do, but our true like first love and passion is like playing live, you know? Like writing can be stressful, shooting and editing your own videos, coming up with content, all that stuff that's required of you. Like we do it because we love the music and we love the band, but that's not like our greatest passion, you know? It's playing live. So like getting to be able to go back to touring full time, which we haven't been able to do in a few years, and that's something we sitting at home and trying to figure out which cool new TikTok to what's the cool new TikTok trend so we can try to get more TikTok views or Instagram reels, or what's the difference? No, I just want to play a show.
More like
I just want to go on tour, sleep in a van, and play
it's sad
shows.
because we're more just like in like content creators these days, and it's like we're not really musicians. It's like.
Like, I want to play in front of somebody. I want to play in front of somebody. That's the fun stuff.
We sound like boomers right now. We're like technology and these kids with social media. Back in my day, we just played shows.
That'd be great. I'd love to get back to Europe and play too.
Playing like overseas will be fun.
Big goal of mine with Glasslands. So.
Well, the good news is, at least that you do have some shows coming up, right? You got a tour on the way?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going on tour in November and December. I'm pretty much sure we're coming to like the South and the East Coast and a little bit of the Midwest. So it's kind of short. It's like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Then we just played yesterday.
Yeah, played with Haste Today, No Sleeper last night.
Sheesh,
that was fun. So
and then you guys made the trip over here. That was from in Indy, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
There we go. All right. Well, check out Glasslands out on tour and follow them on TikTok, even though they hate it. And
we try our best over there. We try our best.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Pop star, model, actress Sierra just celebrated her 38th birthday. Of course, she's married to Russell Wilson. Where would you imagine a couple like that, a power couple, celebrating a birthday?
Somewhere fancy.
Somewhere like Waffle House?
I wouldn't lean Waffle House off the rip.
If you can rent out an entire Waffle House, does that make it fancy?
No.
When you get to have it all to yourself?
You're telling me Russell Wilson has a fine lady like Sierra.
Uh-huh.
And he's taking her to Waffle House?
He sure did.
This guy's worse than I thought.
Captain Cringe. She seemed to like it. Sierra evidently a big Waffle House fan. And so she says, this is like top. She said, it's next level. She said, my honey knows how much I love Waffle House. He rented out an entire Waffle House, rolled out the red carpet for her there, kind of decorated it all nice, candles, balloons. He stepped it up a notch, and then, she could have whatever she wanted at Waffle House all to herself.
You know what's crazy is was it just yesterday? We talked about the top places. This random woman, not Sierra, this random woman said she would never go on a date. And one of them was Waffle House.
One of them was Waffle House, yep.
And Sierra, who's like a 1%er, like a top 1% of physical ladies on the earth that you could possibly be paired up with.
Beautiful. She's very accomplished.
Net worth of $20 million. Model, singer, songwriter.
Businesswoman.
And she's cool with going to Waffle House for her birthday.
Yeah.
But TikTok-y with 3,000 followers.
For just a random date.
She said, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Waffle House? Never.
There's someone out there for everybody, I think, is what it says.
So it says, yeah.
Is that just because one random lady writes off Waffle House doesn't mean that you can't find yourself a gal that loves Waffle House.
And so whenever you throw out a date recommendation, when you say like, oh, would you like to, maybe we'll do this, or maybe we'll do that. And if they're like, are you kidding? I would never do that. They might not be the one for you.
They might not.
But somebody else might think that that's the hottest date spot in town. You might say Waffle House to some random girl, and they might say, no way. And then you suggest that to Sierra, and she's swept off her feet.
Maybe that's how Russell Wilson, Captain Cringe, won her over originally, is all the other guys that might have shooted their shot. They shot their shot, but they didn't know about her love of Waffle House. And Russell Wilson's the only one who was like, hey, how about we go to Waffle House?
What do you think about Waffle House?
And the rest is history.
Impressive by Russ.
Yeah, congratulations to them.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.